far more fun.
These are Formula One's most awkward and funniest moments.
My dad did that once to a mechanic with a fork.
Let's start with one of the most legendary glowdowns in F1 marketing history, McLaren Honda 2.0. The car? Awful. The results? Worse. So what did McLaren do? The MP431 was a disaster. Heavy, bad looking, and powered by a Honda engine that seemed hell-bent on self-destruction.
Jensen, back off. We're going to retire the car.
Donkey.
Jensen Button, what's happened to your front right wheel?
Yeah, we got a failure, guys.
That is Fernando Alonso out of the Spanish Grand Prix.
But instead of sulking like Ferrari might, the Papaya gang leaned into the chaos with content. I mean, you'd think a team with two world champs, Alonso and Button, would be grinding every day to bounce back. Nah, these guys are just different gravy. And the wildest part, they knew it. McLaren wasn't trying to convince anyone they were back. They were out here playing rodeo with reality. Like, if you can't win races, at least win the internet, right?
Hey dude, I feel so confident speaking like an American.
Me too. Can't wait to eat a hot dog. I'm totally psyched, American bro. Woo! Yeehaw!
Yeah!
Yeehaw!
What the fuck am I watching? The awkward accent, the cowboy hats, the whole thing was so cringe. It looped back into genius. Part of me even wonders if that ad was Ron Dennis's final act before leaving. Car's trash, boys. Time to make Fernando say hot dog. Wild decision. However, it's not like we haven't seen these two being weird before. Let's start with the Spaniard. This is a guy who casually hit the griddy on TikTok like it was completely normal behavior for a 40-year-old elite athlete.
Foot creep, walking with that heater. Look around, stay low, make sure they don't see.
You've got him doing beer ads with dramatic camera angles and a smirk like he's auditioning for a telenovela.
Buckler 00, el poder del sabor.
And of course, reading about the Roman Empire like every man apparently does 3 times a week. And then there's Button, chill, stylish, composed under pressure, until you put a camera in front of him and ask him to sell you financial products.
The Santander student account with free student rail card. For home, for fun, for student.
Oh, and in the middle of the chaos, who always pops up out of nowhere? Mika frickin' Häkkinen. Yep, you heard that right. And this guy wasn't just in one ad. Nah, he was on some Stan Lee type beat, showing up randomly like an Easter egg. Indonesian Johnny Walker ad? Mika again. Luxury car ad? Mika. A fucking Mercedes Red Bull collab ad? Mika is there too. Dude was everywhere except the grid. But despite all that track show, let's not pretend this team was even remotely close to a bounce back. They ended the year P6 in the Constructors with 76 points. Alonso got P10 with 54, Button P15 with just 21, and poor Stoffel Vandoorne picked up 1 sympathy point from his debut in Bahrain after Nando's little crash in Australia. Anyway, while the Woking team had us laughing with them, the next trio, you'll be laughing at them. I'll show you what happens when too much money meets 0 brain cells. Il predestinato? Not quite. More like El desastroso. Enter Mahavir Raghunathan, a man whose legacy includes the most infamous 3-point turn in motorsports history. That's not a flex. This wasn't Formula 2. This was a driving test, and he failed it in high definition. But Raghu wasn't alone in turning racing into reality TV. Then comes Nikola Solov, aka the Bulgarian Lion, who decided to pause his F3 campaign to drop what might be the wildest TikTok of the year.
Turn red.
Bro, just watch it. You've got this guy, rising star, part of the Alpine Academy, dancing and mouthing along to lyrics that go,
When my pussy turn red.
Like, why? And to complete the arc, he crashes into Alex Dunn right after, just to seal the clown stamp for the weekend.
Pulls over, and he was weaving in front of him, and Nikola Solov shoves him straight into the barriers.
And just when you think it can't get worse, enter Yuri Vips. His crime? Hating Django.
That nigga there.
That entire scene, that's the perfect metaphor, because during a Twitch stream, my guy literally drops the N-word with the confidence of someone ordering fries.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
Yuri.
And of course, the PR machine kicked in instantly. Step 1, post the apology, Instagram Notes app, classic. Step 2, look sad in a photo with a dog. Didn't happen, but you know someone suggested it. Step 3, mention charity, still pending. Step 4, go quiet and pretend it never happened. Check. Step 5, wait for another driver to screw up and shift the spotlight. Done.
At the same time, I'm not here to make friends, I'm here to win.
Step 6, quietly relocate to IndyCar. Yep, that's real. The truth is, all of these guys had real chances. Seats, sponsors, and teams backing them, but what did they do? Turned it into shambles. And sure, everyone makes mistakes, but these weren't just L's. They were highlight reel fails you'd show in a masterclass titled How to Waste Privilege in Motorsports. Because if this segment proves anything, it's that money can buy you a seat, but it can't stop you from fumbling it. Anyway, enough of the junior chaos. Let's move on to someone with 200 plus race starts, who still crashes like he just installed F123.
Oh no! It's just touched the grass on the way in.
A name that divides opinions.
Sergio Checo Perez!
The man, the myth, the balaclava. Is he fast? Depends. Is he unintentionally hilarious? Absolutely. Let's be real, Checo hasn't been great on track lately, but off track, 5-star comedy chef. The last time we saw Checo was in Abu Dhabi.
Starting Formula Round. And round he goes. Perez spins.
Since then, gone. No press, no socials, not even a happy birthday post. Just straight up disappeared. Like the money on my account if you don't hit subscribe. However, while he was hiding from cameras, the internet was not hiding from him. Memes, roasts, jokes about him being washed. People were ready to replace him with literally anyone. So the universe did its thing, and Red Bull gave Liam Lawson a shot. 2 races to demonstrate his capability of driving under pressure while...
Goes Liam Lawson. He's done the same thing at the first couple of turns on the racetrack. The Kiwi has hit the barriers.
What the fuck? Is he out? Yep, my guy didn't even make it to race 3. Now Tsunoda's taken over, and suddenly, Checo doesn't look that bad anymore. But let's not get distracted, because this man is a goldmine for memes. Yes, memes Checo. Let's talk about his balaclava. There are grown men, real adult, functioning human beings, fighting to get a sniff of it like it's some lost Aztec relic. Not a helmet, not gloves, a sweaty balaclava. I mean, okay, just please don't take it to the bathroom. And then came the video. Checo starts by watching TV, then boom, he's a cowboy. Then a ninja. Then a soldier. Then poof, vanishes in a smoke bomb like Naruto. What was the goal of this ad? No clue. What did it accomplish? No clue either. Zero context, maximum confusion. Peak sabrosura. And it doesn't stop there. Who remembers that time when the Mexican, fully dressed, got tossed in like it's part of a baptism ritual? And what did he do? Exactly what any regular person would do in that moment. Say cheese. Brother, you're not just a meme. You're elite tier meme mythology. Because in a sport filled with pressure, data, and spreadsheets, there's always time for chaos, and Checo always delivers. And you know who always delivers too? Today's sponsor, Coopert. And yeah, I know, in the last video a lot of you were tearing me up in the comments saying Coopert might be a scam or just a rebrand of honey. And honestly, I get where you're coming from, but let me clear that up real quick. I don't work with scammers or shady companies. Coopert is 100% legit, totally safe, and actually super well reviewed. They have a Trustpilot rating of 4.8 out of 5 from millions of users who have nothing but good things to say. So here's how Coopert works. You just install the free browser extension on whatever browser you like, Chrome, Firefox, Safari, Edge, you name it. Then, whenever you're shopping online and hitting checkout, Coopert automatically hunts for the best coupon codes and tests them for you. No digging, no guesswork. It just tries all the codes to save you money. On top of that, it offers cashback rewards and price comparisons to make sure you're getting the best deal possible. The best thing? It all happens behind the scenes. Easier than Stroll finding a wall. What's also important, Coopert follows all the industry rules. They don't override or mess with affiliate tracking or steal commissions. So yeah, if you were worried about Coopert being some scam or sneaky scheme, rest assured it's a trustworthy tool used by millions every week. It's just a simple, legit way to save money while you shop online. Thank you again to Coopert for supporting the channel and making these videos possible. Ah yes, Spielberg, home of Red Bull, home of the Styrian Hills, and home of whatever this was. Everything started like a normal race weekend in Austria. Cars on track, fans in Lederhosen, cowbells ringing. Ocon probably already planning how to ruin Alonso's race. Then came the pre-race entertainment. You know how F1 always tries to spice things up before lights out? This time, they brought in a guy named Issa Kaufman, aka Jetpack Jesus. A man in a full flight suit, strapped to a literal jet engine, ready to fly through the sky, feeling like a bug. And for a second, it was majestic. He takes off, he soars, the crowd's cheering, the vibes are immaculate. And then, dude nosedives straight into the asphalt. Full Iron Man crash landing, zero elegance, 100% spinal risk. Really dangerous, right? Not for Oscar Piastri. This human version of Ferb literally just watched a man fall out of the sky at terminal velocity and didn't even blink. As your fellow Aussie would say once,
holy mac and cheese balls.
To be fair, Oscar's always been like this. This is the same guy who ended Alpine's entire multi-million plan with one tweet. That was it. No context, no drama. Just one paragraph that shut down an entire storyline. And let's not forget the burger. Oscar Piastri, cool as ever, promoting a jet black burger that looks like it was forged in a goth teenager's kitchen. At this point, I'm not convinced he's a real person. Oscar isn't a driver, he's a background NPC with god-tier reflexes. And then, because this universe is beautifully cursed, Piastri's mum logs on to Twitter. If you don't know her yet, Oscar's mum is basically the final boss of F1 Twitter. She roasts him regularly, publicly, with precision. And the best part, he never reacts. This entire weekend felt like a fever dream. Jetpacks, black burgers, dead-eyed drivers, savage mums. And all of it captured in 4K awkwardness. Because that's what the pinnacle of motorsport does best. It mixes danger, disaster, and deadpan energy, and somehow makes it content. But you know what else felt like a fever dream? When the safety car straight up crashed in Monza in 2024 during a pre-race test. Like, man, you're supposed to be the responsible one.
You're a freestyle rapper. Have you got any rap for us today on Formula One?
I have no rap today, I'm sorry.
Who are you supporting in the race? I can do that because I did.
Imagine walking into a crowd of celebrities, mic in hand, good vibes in your heart, and then getting full body blocked like you tried to sneak into the Met Gala with flip-flops. And then imagine it happens every single race weekend. Welcome to Brundle's Gridwalk, the place where DJ Khaled shows up, doesn't know what sport he's in, and somehow gets treated better than the guy with the mic.
Martin Brundle, Sky F1.
Everything good? We in Miami. This is my home, the best city in the world, and the whole world is here for this beautiful event. F1, family, fun, good energy, superstars, icons.
They didn't want us here at F1, but what?
God did.
God did.
That's right.
Yeah, me neither, Martin. See, doing Brundle's job is like being a mall Santa, except the kids hate you, the parents are security guards, and someone replaced the candy canes with legal threats. But what does he do? He delivers, because someone has to. Let's start in Singapore. And no, not the race. I'm talking about the moment bro walked up to Christian Horner with the calmest energy ever and hit him with,
"Shame you're too old to have driven here, really."
I am too old to have driven here, but
you would have liked it.
Yeah. Shame you wasn't fast enough to get to Formula One.
Damn!
Excuse me? That wasn't an interview. That was a drive-by. Horner smiled like it didn't hurt, but deep down, you know he felt it. Now we teleport to Suzuka. Martin spots Felipe Nasser, heads over for a quick interview, but just as he's closing in, a Globo reporter appears, clearly gunning for the same target. She's moving with intent, full send. You can tell she really wanted to speak to her fellow Brazilian, but Martin's got racecraft. He picks up the pace, slides in just before she does, and gets the mic in first. No contact, no drama, just a textbook move.
Okay, good luck. There's a lady here who thought she was going to outbreak me. No chance.
However, right when you think, okay, surely it can't get weirder than this, it can. Welcome to the US. Brundle sees Bernie Ecclestone. No big deal, points him out mid-walk and casually says,
We saw Bridgestone having tyres fail in Barcelona with the safety car situation. Surely we just have to have a sensible pill and say, okay, this is the situation we find ourselves in.
Pills? What kind of pills? Is Bernie handing out multivitamins?
Tell me where we can buy the pills.
We need to talk to Mrs. Ecclestone. Maybe this needs a woman's common sense here.
Oh, those kind of pills. Roger.
Mrs. Ecclestone, this needs a woman's intuition on this, don't you think?
Nothing to say, nothing to say.
I think maybe you should have had something to say and give him a jolly good slapping.
You what? Classic Brundle. At this point, he's not doing interviews. He's creating law. And then just to make sure our brains never recover, we get Ozzy Osbourne. The Brit walks up, asks a simple question, and Ozzy responds with, I don't even know.
Ozzy, British TV, good to see you.
Good to see you here.
Sharon had some good news this week, I hear.
Yeah, I'm currently writing a musical about the life and times of Rasputin the Mad Monk, and we just got they're allowing it to go on Broadway.
All right, I'll try and think of a question for that answer. Did you bring the dogs with you?
No, they're all at home.
Excellent, thank you very much.
Brundle just nods like it's all perfectly normal and keeps walking. Right before the most controversial race of the season, F1 hit us with a plot twist. Not on the track, not in the paddock, right in the middle of a press conference. With a 93-second and a 187 words monologue, and honestly, it broke reality. Let me set the stage real quick. It's 2014, we're in Abu Dhabi, final race of the season, title fight between Rosberg and Hamilton. The FIA, for whatever reason, thought, let's make it interesting, so they decided to double the points for that race. Yeah, that actually happened, but whatever. That's not even the weird part, because right before all that madness, we got the most iconic press conference in F1 history, and it had nothing to do with tyres, strategy, or lap times. It all starts with this man, Walter Costa. Now, I don't know if this guy's a journalist, a philosopher, or a wizard. The first words out of his mouth, gentlemen, a short view back to the past. And right there, I knew we were doomed.
Gentlemen, a short view back to the past. 30 years ago, Niki Lauda told us, take a monkey, place him into the cockpit, and he is able to drive the car. 30 years later, Sebastian told us, I had to start my car like a computer. It's very complicated.
He keeps going and going and going. And I'm not exaggerating when I say I've seen this clip like 20 times and never finished it. In the end, Rosberg ended up losing the title after dropping back to P14 with a car issue.
So, Nico, box. Too many problems with the car. Box. Okay, Lewis, Nico looks to not be a threat now. Nico's not a threat now. I would like to go to the end. We're happy for you to continue.
It's Lewis Hamilton, champion of the world in 2014. This time, it's hammer time.
So, the double points rule didn't even matter. Imagine building all that hype just for Hamilton to smoke the field anyway. Classic. Walter didn't ask a question, he launched a spell. Of course, we can't stay curious for too long. I mean, this is F1.
Have you ever peed in the car?
No.
Oh, come on, elaborate.
I have once.
That's an exclusive, Russ.
Sweat? Pee? Who knows? Well, I don't blame him. I'm not even sure I could hold it in. But hey, one day you're deep diving into pee talk, and the next, you're watching Mark Webber sell milk like it's a performance enhancer.
I'm a Canberra milk kid. From the time that I was old enough, my mum would pour a great big cup. And since then I've been drinking. It keeps my mind a thinking. Wherever I am, wherever I roam, the thing that always brings me home is the taste that I've been missing, the Canberra milk tradition.
It starts kind of funny. Mark Webber, ex-F1 gladiator, casually jogging through floating boxes of milk like he's leading a dairy cult. And not just jogging, he's singing. With this smooth, seductive tone like he's recording the creamy version of Careless Whisper. Normal Tuesday stuff. At first, I laughed. Then I asked the dumbest question ever. How much of this can I handle? I had one mission. Last longer than Hulkenberg.
Nico Hulkenberg came within 10 milliseconds.
Spoiler, I didn't. Phase 2, hit like a rogue tire.
Ted Kravitz, Max Verstappen, about to come.
Then Phase 3 came crashing in.
And already Piastri is coming at Verstappen. Verstappen's coming at Lewis Hamilton.
Phase 4, even the commentary box is into it.
I think I was watching Lewis Hamilton when he came on the screen. And
are we in a race broadcast or a creamy fever dream? And that's how I hit Phase 5, where the inevitable happened.
Goes around the outside, down towards turn 9 we go. Stroll is edging.
At this point, I paused the video and just stared at my reflection. This wasn't a milk ad anymore. It was a personality test, and I failed. But somehow, still made it to the end. Barely breathing, spirit broken, brain permanently lactose-pilled. And yet, the ad lives on. What was meant to sell milk became a cultural reset. Every Aussie knows it, because deep down, we all believe in Milky Webber. Now picture being left at a gas station by your dad and thanking him after winning races. Yeah, Project Verstappen is next, and it gets dark real fast. A world champion.
2021, Max Verstappen, for the first time ever, is champion of the world.
Max Verstappen wins the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix to take his 15th win of the 2022 season.
Verstappen wins the Mexican Grand Prix.
Cold-blooded machine, occasional accidental therapy patient, and the only guy who drops childhood trauma into interviews like he's talking tire strategy. Max Verstappen's origin story? Man, where do you even start? Most kids grow up riding bikes or trading Pokemon cards. Max, he was dodging emotional grenades while grinding quali laps in cars. And then there's this gem.
My dad did that once to a mechanic with a fork.
Bro said that like he was describing the weather. Let's rewind. Jos Verstappen, ex-F1 driver, Dutch meme fuel, and graduate of the Darth Vader School of Parenting, had one goal: build the ultimate driver. Not with love, with lap times. Jos didn't parent. He trained him like a machine built for racing. Like the time he left Max at a gas station after a bad race. Just dipped. Gone. Real life rage quit. Worse, Max didn't even frame it as abuse. He just accepted it. In an interview, he said Jos used to tell him,
My dad never said I was going to be a champion. He was always the opposite. He would tell me I was going to be a truck driver or like a bus driver. Really? Yeah.
Bro, that's not motivation. That's psychological warfare. And yet, somehow it worked. Because now, under pressure, Max doesn't flinch. Tires dead, teammate in the wall. Team radio melting down. His brain just calmly says, at least I'm not on a bus. Jos wasn't just a tough dad. He was the FIA, the tire deg, the Red Bull politics, all rolled into one man with zero chill. That's why Max races like a Terminator. By 17, he had the composure of a war veteran. He doesn't even trauma dump anymore. He leaks it. Like, yeah, softs were cooked. Also, my dad once tried to strangle a guy with a wrench. And poor Danny Rick is just sitting there like, bro, I was trying to talk about mangoes. But here's the twist. He still defends Jos. Says he owes him everything. That's the final plot beat. You train a killer, and the killer thanks you for it. Max Verstappen didn't just beat the grid. He beat life on hard mode. And now he's about to become a dad himself. Kelly Piquet is pregnant, and Max just entered the second chapter of this saga. The sequel's already writing itself. So the universal question is, if you were raised a certain way and it made you successful, would you raise your kid the same way, even if it hurts you? Bloody hell, this wasn't just a video, it was a greatest hits album of awkward, funny, and downright cursed F1 moments. Which one was your favorite? Did I miss any other good ones? Let me know in the comments. And if you really enjoyed this video, you should check this one out for some savage moments from our favorite drivers. As always, thanks for watching this meme museum and stay until the end. See you next time.